Hello everyone, this is Void Spirit. I'm here to bring you guys amazing fanfiction that you will surely enjoy. But before we start, please subscribe and like the video for more amazing content.
CH72. Date and Confession I.A.N. So I have read a lot of responses that the previous chapter that I uploaded is quite boring, which I also think that it's quite boring, so I decided to skip the boring chapter and write based on my memory, and keep in mind that I've read the WN of Arifureta almost 1 year ago, but if my memory serves me right, I still remember all the major event that happened, and also starting in this chapter it will not follow the same sequence as in the WN and Lane. Oh yeah, and dialogue will be different since this is based on my memory. Asterisk. After Cam and the Julian threatened Gaharuto that they will destroy not only their family but also the people of the Empire will also suffer until Gaharuto replied to their request. Gaharuto at first didn't want to listen to Cam and the Julians, but when he saw that his wife is the next that will be headed, agreed with the Julians. Seeing his son die, Gaharuto had no choice but to release all of their slaves and was made to swear an oath that will be carried on by the future generation of Gaharuto's bloodline. The Julians also made sure they will keep their oath by letting them know that no matter where they are, no matter how far they hide or run, the Julians will come at them and take their life. And if they try to break the oath, all of their family members who are involved in their bloodline will die, and this will forever be engraved in the history of the Empire. Asterisk. In the night sky in Philia, Belgian demi-humans are walking around in Night Street until they heard a noise followed by an intense light that shine from above that illuminates the surrounding. The people in the street became scared, some are running around the place, some are starting to hide, fearing that this can be an attack to them by the Empire. But contrary to what they have expected, the light moves to an open field in the center of the town, and the thing that is generating the light slowly descends from above, revealing an airship with red and blue markings. After the airship landed, some people and soldiers of Philia, Belgium started to surround the black airship. In a few moments of silence, the hatch of the airship slowly opened, the soldier ready their weapon to attack, but what come out of the airship is not the enemy that they expected. But instead, a fellow demi-human. The girl who was the first to come out looked around in surprise. She continues to look around until she stopped in a certain direction, then tears began to flow down her eyes as she saw a woman that's standing in the crowd. The woman, seeing her, immediately run towards the girl and hugs her tight. "Mother," the girl said as she continues to cry on her mother's shoulder. After that, more and more demi-humans started to come out of the airship and went to their family. After all, demi-humans leave the airship. Rimuru followed by Hajime, Yu, Tio, Kaori, Shei, Chloe, Akame, Sakura, Seal, Shizuku, Suzu, Kuki, and Ryutaro came out of the airship and look at the surrounding war. They heard a lot of crying and joyful talk because of the reunion of different families, that though that they won't be able to see their families again. Cam and the others also came out and look at the surroundings. They wanted to return to the Julian village, but because of some circumstances they have to got to Philia, Belgium first to deliver the freed demi-human. "Boss, leader, thank you very much for helping us in this war," Cam said as he bowed his head towards the two brothers. "You don't need to thank us. All we did was help you prepare, and you did all of this by yourself," said Rimuru, who turned his gaze at Cam, who is bowing. "My brother is right, I only did this for Shei, nothing more," Hajime said. Shei, who heard Hajime's words, became red in embarrassment. "Hajime-san, thank you," she said and hugged Hajime's arms while smiling. "You didn't stop Shei, since she also cared about Shei." Tio, who sees Hajime like that, also tried to hug Hajime's other arm, but Hajime throws her off and she started to say words like, "To be treated like this, is a pleasure," and stuff like that. "Hayes, Hajime-kun should be honest with your feelings, you're such a tsundere, ha ha ha," Rimuru said as he laughs. "Doppen." Hajime fired a bullet at Rimuru, but like always it got stopped by Rimuru's barrier and he continued laughing. "You cheater," Hajime said, and then turns to Shei, who was hugging his arm. Seeing her all happy, he just let her be and started caressing her hair. They continue to converse until one of the elders in Philia, Belgium walks towards them. He is an elf with long hair. They know him by the name of Ulfric. Is one of the elders that lead Philia, Belgium. He is an elf that lived for more than 100 years. He walks towards the group and spoke. "Rimuru Dono. Hajime Dono, I've heard that you recuse our kin from the Empire. For that I thank that both of you," Ulfric said while bowing. "If you want to thank someone, thanks Cam and the Julians. They are the one who rescued your kin, not us," Hajime replied. Hearing Hajime's words, Ulfric became surprises, but he immediately thanked Cam and the others. He then proceeds to offer that Cam and the Hooligans to leave back to Philia Belgian, but Cam refused and said they can now sustain theirself. Ulfric, understanding that Cam and the others are fine without them, didn't push the subject further but instead turned his gaze at Rimuru and Hajime and asked if they are planning to enter the Haltina labyrinth. The two answered that they will enter the labyrinth, so Ulfric offered them a place to stay since it's night time. Then Rimuru accepts the offer, which Hajime didn't objected to. After that, Hajime stores the airship in his ring that made everyone surprises. Cam and the other Hooligan will also stay in Philia Belgian until Rimuru and the others finish exploring the labyrinth. Ulfric guide the group to his house, which is fairly large. It can accumulate 30 people, and the only ones living there is Ulfric himself and his granddaughter named Altina and some servant that maintain the hygiene of the place. After they arrived, they were shown to their room. After that, they gathered in Rimuru's room and talk. Wait, why are you guys in my room in the first place? Rimuru asked them. Well, they're the ones who chose to use your room, so I just tag along, Hajime said. Ha, well. Anyways, why are you guys here? Rimuru asked. Of course, we are here to discuss on what we will do for tomorrow before we enter the labyrinth, Shizuku said, and started to tell everyone that they should take a break for tomorrow and then enter the labyrinth the day after. Hajime wanted to enter the labyrinth as soon as possible, but seeing Yu and Kaori wanted to take a break, decided to agree. Rimuru also didn't objected since they are all tiered because of the happening in the Empire. Kuki didn't say anything and just listened to the conversation. After their discussion, everyone went to their room and sleep. Seal, Chloe, and Sakura wanted to share the same room as Rimuru, but each room only have one bed and it can only fit one person in the bed, so they didn't have a choice but to have their own room. The same goes for Yu and Kaori. Asterisk. In one of the rooms, Wara, there's a balcony. The light of the moon illuminates the room windows where a boy with silver blue hair sleeps. The boy opens his eyes and stares at the ceiling of the room. I want to hug you, Shizu-san, Rimuru said as he activated one of his skills that he made a copy from his subordinates. Illusion King Mespito, and combined it with Information King Akashic Records to create an illusion that looks like a hologram that shows the memory of his and Shizu and the time they spent together. He continues to watch it until someone knocks on the door in the middle of the night. He opens the door and there he saw Akame standing in front of him. He invited her to come inside and they both sits at the table that was on the balcony of Rimuru's room and they started to talk. Is there anything that you need, Akame-chan? Rimuru asks Akame as he pour a cup of tea for her. I was just wondering, after all of this is finished, what will you do? Ask Akame. She somehow has a hint of uneasiness in her voice. Well, I'll go back to our world and continue to have a meaningful life, Rimuru said. Well, of course this will only happen after he and Shizu are together again. Akame, hearing his response, became even more uneasy and also had a scared expression on her face. What about you, Akame-chan? What will you do? I can return you to your world if you like, Rimuru said. Even if I return to my old world, there won't be anyone waiting for me, Akame said while looking down. She had a sad expression, an expression of loneliness, expression not having anyone besides her for many years. Rimuru, seeing Akame's expression, moved his sits next to Akame and started to caress her head. If you don't want to return to your old world, it's fine, I'm not going to force you, Rimuru said. Akame became red because of Rimuru's action. For Akame, the reason for her journey in her old world was to find a cure for her disease, which is caused by her ultimate skill that she is not aware of. But now that her goal is complete, she became confused on what will she do next, so she decided to join Rimuru and the others on their journey. In the month that they all been together, she managed to earn the trust of the people around her. Their attitude resembled that of her old team, except for Hajime, who had some anger issues but still cares for his team and his family. Shia reminds her of a girl named Mia who was energetic. Chloe remained her of a girl named Leonie, a cheerful girl and a caring one. Tio remained her of a curtain green boy because of her perverted attitude. All of her current teammates had similarities to her old team, but one of them stands out. It was Rimuru. His smile reminded her of a curtain brown-haired boy. Their smile is full of happiness but at the same time carry a huge weight on their backs. Seeing him smile reawakened the emotions inside, the emotions that she thought she had locked away. Akame was afraid that if she let her emotion out, the same event will happen to her current team, but the more she spent time with them, spatially Rimuru, her emotions slowly came back to her to the point where she can no longer hold them in. Hey, are you alright? Rimuru asked, seeing Akame space out. I'm fine. Akame replied she wanted to talk to him about her feeling but she was afraid that if she do she will lose him but then she remembers the words Ryutaro give her. Just be honest with your feelings. Gathering her courage she spoke. Hey, there is something I want to tell you, Akame said while her emotions is boiling inside her. What is it? Rimuru replied looking at Akame's red eyes. If I say that I want to stay beside you will you let me? Akame asks while looking left and right. I mean I want to stay beside you like Chloe, Sakura, and Seal, Akame said while her face is all red. Wait, you mean that? Yes, I love you. I have thought about it and I know that we've only known each other for a few months but every time that I'm with you and I saw your smile my heart started to beat fast and I always feel comfortable when I'm beside you, Akame said. Rimuru didn't reply which makes Akame more nervous when she looks at Rimuru. Her crimson red eyes lock on Rimuru's golden eyes. The two stare at each other, and then Rimuru spoke. But are you okay with me? I mean Rimuru didn't finish his sentence because he got interrupted by Akame. I'm okay with you. I'll wait for you even if it takes years to decades. I just want to be with you, Akame said. I know that you are looking for someone, right, and that's the reason you didn't marry Chloe and the others yet, right? Akame asked. How did you? Chloe said it to me and I'm fine with that. I'm also fine if you won't view me the same as them. All I wish is just to be with you, Akame said. Rimuru seeing her like this let out a warmth smile and hug her. I can't let a girl the loved be sad like this, can I? Rimuru said while hugging Akame. Does that mean? Yeah, you accept me even though you know that I'm looking for someone and you said that you are willing to wait for me. I saw no lies in your words, so I'll ask you, Akame, will you be my fiancé? Rimuru asked Akame. Why? Yes, Akame said and tears of joy started to fall from her eyes. Rimuru then takes out a ring from his storage. It's the same one that he gives to Chloe and to his other fiancés but with different colors. The ring that he gives Akame had a color of blue that looks like the night sky. He then put the ring on Akame's fingers and kiss her. Ch 73. Date and Confession 2. The moon illuminate the night sky of Philia, Belgium. In one of the fairly large houses that stands in the city, on its balcony a couple can be seen kissing each other. Yes, those two are Rimuru and Akame who just got engaged to each other. After a while of kissing the both separated and move inside the room to sleep. Let's sleep for now, it getting late, Rimuru said. Can I sleep beside you? Akame asked. Alright, Rimuru said as he used his power to extend the bed that can fit 5 people in it. The two went to bed hugging each other and falling asleep with smiles on their faces. Asterisk. The ray of the morning sun hits the face of the boy that had silver bluish hair who is sleeping on a fairly large bed. The boy then slowly opens his eyes and tried to move but he can't. Why do I feel heavy? Rimuru said as he looks towards his left and to his right. There he saw all of his fiancés sleeping comfortably beside him. Chloe and Sakura are on his left while Seal and Akame are on his right. The four is hugging both his arms and body. He didn't want to disturb their sleep so he just watches and waits for them to wake up. Seriously, since when did they enter my room? He said and continues to watch his 4 beautiful fiancés sleeping. He also thinks about Kurumi, Shirori, and Luminous, which he left. He missed them and wishes to see them again. After an hour the 4 finally woke up. Good morning. Rimuru greeted the 4 girls who just woke up. Good morning, Rimuru-san, Chloe said. Good morning, Master, Seal said. Good morning, Rimuru, Sakura said while rubbing her eyes. Good morning, Akame said while yawning. Did the 4 of you sleep well? Rimuru asked. We did, the 4 replied in union. Rimuru then gave each one of them a morning kiss in the forehead which made the 4 of them blush. Let's go eat breakfast, Rimuru said and the 4 agreed. The girls then went to their room to change their clothes and after they changed they headed to the dining room where the food is already served. After they arrived Hajime, Tio, Shay, Shizuku, Kaori, Yu, and Kuki are already seated along with Ulfric. Then Rimuru greeted them. Oh, Ryutaro was still sleeping in his room so he's not at the dining table. Good morning everyone, Rimuru said. Good morning. Hajime and the others greeted them back but Kuki didn't said anything. Rimuru ignored him and takes his seat and beside him was his fiancés. They then started to eat and talk to each other about their plans for today. But before they can start the talk Suzu noticed the ring on Akame's finger and asked something. Akame-chan, that ring on your finger. Did you just? Yes, Rimuru accept me as his fiancé, Akame said with a smile. Hearing this, Suzu let out a perverted grin, and Shizuku was jealous since Akame gets to confess her feelings for Rimuru. Hajime, Yu, Shay, and Tio congratulate Akame on her engagement to Rimuru. Shia then asked Hajime to date her, which Hajime accepted, but the lively atmosphere gets interrupted because of Ryutaro, who just woke up. "Oh, everyone is up early," Ryutaro said as he takes a seat beside Kuki. They continue to talk and eat their breakfast until they finish. Hajime is also flirting with Yu and Kaori, with made Shay jealous, and Rimuru is also doing the saw with his fiancés, with also makes Shizuku jealous, and a red flaming demon can be seen behind her. Asterisk. After they eat, Hajime and Shay went on their way for their date. As the two of them go around the street buying and eating food together and enjoying their time, Shay was all happy about their date and their alone time together. Hajime's eyes softened when he saw Shia like that, and he extended his hand. Then Shia's rabbit ears were gently caressed. "Ha, Hajime-san. Nah, Shia, I have a request to ask you." "A request? Of course, it's fine. You can ask anything, Dezu." For a moment, she was surprised by Hajime's words. Since she was able to show even a little bit of her gratitude, Shia enthusiastically accepted with a smile. "Now, let's see, I want to lie down for a bit. Can you give me a lap pillow?" "Phew, even if you don't ask, please use them anytime." "Saw, lie down there," Shay said as she points to a shady tree. "Thank you." Although Shia's expression was slightly disappointed by Hajime's request, she was happy that she was giving him a lap pillow, and she patted her thigh with a bright smile. Hajime said his thanks with a smile and lay down without hesitation. Since Shia was wearing a short skirt, he could feel her thighs completely. A soft and warm feeling supported Hajime's head. A little bit like you, a sweet scent entered his nose. "Fufu, it's unfortunate for Kaori-san and Tio-san, huh? Right now they're fighting Yu-san to get Hajime-san's lap, but I'm ahead of them. Ma, you will win anyway, so there's nothing to worry about." "You shouldn't say that. Since they wanted Hajime-san to love them, they put in a lot of effort. Really, I wonder when Hajime-san will fall for me." Unknown to Shay, Hajime had already fallen for her. He just doesn't know how to tell her his feeling. Unlike his brother, who is a straightforward person, then Hajime is the opposite. "Will you give up?" Hajime asks Shay. "No way," she replied with eyes full of determination. "I understand." Shia gently stroked Hajime's hair. Hajime narrowed his eyes as if he felt comfortable. And in response, he played with Shia's hair that was hanging down in front of him. That bluish-white hair was truly mysterious when combined with the light emanating from the rays of the sun above them. If someone saw Shia and Hajime right now, they would definitely vomit on the street. That shows how sweet the atmosphere between the two is. That's right, exactly like the private world that Hajime and Yu created. But, unfortunately, even though the atmosphere created by Hajime and Yu was tasted by Shia many times, she still didn't notice that she was doing the same thing. That part shows, maybe Shia can really be called the pitiful rabbit. Even if the person doesn't realize it, the sweet times still pass smoothly. Bathed in the sunlight, Hajime and Shia enjoyed their time alone. Hajime and Shia's pick here Unknown to the two, people are watching them from afar. Those two clearly have feeling for each other, and yet why can't they just say it, Shizuku said. Well, Hajime is a tsundere, even if he doesn't show it, he actually cared about Shay on the same level as Yu and Kaori, Rimuru said. What about me, Rimuru-san? Tio asked. I don't know, Rimuru said, since he didn't know how Hajime feels about Tio, who is a pervert. Hearing Rimuru's words, Tio, who was supposed to be disappointed, let out a perverted voice. Tio-san is really a pervert. She looks like a normal woman if she just gets rid of her perverted nature, Shizuku said. Forget about Tio-san, let's talk about you, Akame-chan. Have you done it with Rimuru-kun? Suzu said as she let out a perverted voice. Akame, hearing the word of Suzu, became red, which is unexpected for some like Akame, who is always calm and collected. I haven't done those things yet, Akame said while her face is all red. Yet. Are you going to do that in the future? Suzu continued to give her a barrage of questions. The spectators just look at her acting like a cute girl. Rimuru, Chloe, Sakura, and Seal just give her a gentle smile. Rimuru then walks beside Akame and stops Suzu with her teasing, and the five then move to have their own date. So even people like Akame-chan can be like that. Love really is powerful, Tio said. Yeah, I wonder if Rimuru-kun will accept me too, Shizuku said in a low voice. Tio and Yu heard her words and smile at her. Why don't you ask him to take you to as his bride-to-be, Yu said. I'm not sure about that. I mean, Rimuru-kun is someone that's beyond my reach and I'm not sure if I'm worthy of someone like him, Shizuku said. You don't have to worried about being worthy or not, just be honest and I'm sure he'll return your feelings. After all, you're the one he's been looking for thousands of years, Yu said with the last part only you can hear. You can't love someone like him, Shizuku. He is not worthy of some like you. Kuki, hearing the conversation between the two, decided to speak his nonsense. You can control me, Kuki-kun. I'm not your property and I can love whoever I want, Shizuku said while looking at Kuki with a serious face. But he's a murderer and I'm sure he will make you sad if you choose him. Maybe he planned all of this ever since you were a child. Maybe he was planning something bad and. Kuki didn't finish his words because he got slapped in the face by Shizuku. Ryutaro, seeing Shizuku slap Kuki, tried to say something but Suzu stopped him before he can say anything. Don't you dare say those words to Rimuru-kun because you don't know a single thing about him, Shizuku said. But Kuki tried to say something again but got interrupted again. Just shut up, Kuki-kun, don't make me hate you more than I hate you right now, Shizuku said as she left the speechless Kuki. Yu and the others also followed and went on their separate ways. Kuki was left standing there with Suzu and Ryutaro and the three of them are in silence until Ryutaro break the silence. Dude, you went too far on that, Ryutaro said as he walks beside Kuki. You should apologize to her, even this muscle brain knows that you went too far on that, Kuki-kun, Suzu said as she and Ryutaro left Kuki that is still standing there in silence. Kuki can't believe what Shizuku did to him. His twisted value didn't let him accept the words of other and always believe in his own words even if it's wrong. He still think that it was right. Kuki curses Rimuru and blames him for what Shizuku did to him. He wanted to be a hero, he wanted to be someone, to be a symbol of justice. He doesn't want to be outdone by anyone. But no matter how hard he tried, he can't surpass Rimuru both on Earth and in Tortus, not to mention with Hajime's current strength. He felt angered because he was supposed to be the hero that will save his classmates, not the other way around. He promised to himself that he will become stronger than Hajime and stronger than Rimuru. That's the reason why he joined them on their journey to conquer this labyrinth.